Hey, welcome back everyone. In this video, we'll be building a roll cage from scratch. We'll take a look at some rules, the materials, and some of the tools you probably should use if you're going to do this yourself. Most racing sanctioning bodies have rule books that cover roll cage design. Basically, what those are going to tell you is what kind of material you can use, what your design should look like, and if you did everything right, whether or not your car is going to pass tech inspection. So for this project, we're going to use 1 3/4 inch DOM mild steel tubing with a wall thickness of 0.95, some 1/8 inch cold rolled steel plate, and some leftovers from a steel sheet that may have come from this car at one point.
Taillight on the driver's side and a little bit there as well.
It's got the dual tank option. Missing the gas door, and we still got to bolt that up there. Patch that same rust on the driver's side. And this bed must not have been a dual tank bed. I think they cut it apart for the nice people on the internet. You'd have to put out a fuel, which tank is hooked up, if a tank is even hooked up. And then we'll also get to look at how slopped out the bottom of this thing is. Considering it came from west of 281, it was likely.
So let's start with the main structure. You can use a main hoop and a front hoop, 2 side hoops with cross members and roof braces, a main hoop with side roof bars, or a main hoop connected to a halo hoop with A-pillar bars. But I'm going to go with this one because this is the one I've done before and I feel pretty comfortable building.
Motorhome valve covers, the truck valve covers.
They were kind of pretty manly because they've got that old raised ridge in the middle.
Yeah, those are cool. Oh, and that's also when we put the fiberglass lid on it for the very first time and moved that 6-pack scoop to the rear, which would come bite us later. And we didn't get it square and it vibrated so bad. I thought we had that tail housing. Yeah, that was a disaster. But there's the tail housing attached to the drive shaft lying on the ground.
I'm kind of dying because I had done a motorhome 440 after this. Oh yeah, this one's way better.
This is going to be better. So it's motorhome 440, which means it's 7.8. I know.
Boy, it's still a sore spot.
Yep. So that's what happened with the engine dyno for the diesel maintenance.
Get into the lower test room, but it's just not going to happen. It'll be available to you guys cheap. This is a disaster, and for the record, that's not how you steal one.
Well, it was close. I pretty much nailed the first bend, but then the second one, it went a little wide. And what that means is from this point here to the opposite point, it's going to be a little wide there. So I have some options. One is I could put the roll bar a little farther forward so it doesn't get into the door. But then I might have to cut the door back. Or instead of having the second bend here, I could just bring in the top a little tighter so the roll bar will probably be like that. So instead of being an 80-degree bend, I'm going to make them both like 85.
It's trying.
And back up here, we can see we have the exceptionally rare topographical difference. Also, don't use this as a guide. This is one of my videos. Oh, nice little rust that I've taken. The rear is an issue now. That is a problem for later, though. These adapters have quite a lot more offset than I think will be in the final iteration. With that good enough for now, we'll be fine. But that is hardly the only thing I'm leaving unfinished for this video. There's still a whole lot of disassembly and cleaning and prettying up and parts changing and reassembling to do. And then some alignment and Mercedes Benz, but the grubby leathers, but when that helmet comes off, there's always one.
This man, Julian uses the exact same process as the top. The preparation is pulling off the original and mixing it.
As for the issue of something to choose out of
So it looks like she's leaking out of that cover a little bit, don't it? Somebody's been in there recently and scraped a bunch of grease out of it, however. I'll slap those splits.
It's looking okay. Admire the original turquoise paint I found under some of that black. I did not get every shred of the paint. Sandblasting was way too big of a piece of garbage last night, but this is looking pretty good. You know, I thought this was a nice paint, just no I did notice this like shelf on the C-body panel, B-body one, and it's tweaked the pickup position just a little bit, so this is just touching it now. By the time we add in 2 gaskets,
Random mail truck fact of the day.
and this little thingy over here, which I think is a. In case you're wondering why I'm not putting valve seals in these things.
there are some kids there that just need looking at, okay?
Right there.
System guru, and he sold out all this stuff to, I believe, Air Automotive.
There's no rust to it. Also, there's a decal on the front bumper. Garbage.
Who are you? I'm Ray. Ray who?
This afternoon, Morris will go with them. What about all leave? Cancelled. Going today. Today? When?
Sometimes, and we have a tailwind today. That means more speed. Here we go.
Have you ever had one of those days where all your parts are in and you have time to do things, but you have a cold and it's like 28 degrees? Yeah.
Okay. Just let it out. Have a good cry. Come on.
Not one of these tin grills still has the factory hardware holding the shifter cover down. This thing even has most of a floor, so I don't know what its excuse is. Anyway, we're taking the extraordinarily unusual step of draining the transmission before it comes out, because what we're probably about to...
Sorry, it's just we've been waiting so long.
Yeah, about 2 days ago.
Anyway.
I found these. Must have dropped them. Gotta be more careful. You don't want these in my hands. You can keep them.
Wow, that is a pack of film though.
Well, everybody, that's about it. What you see took 100 feet of tubing and almost 100 hours of work. But it's done, so we're moving on to the rear suspension, and we'll cover that in the next video. So for now, thanks for watching.